Hey yo, what's good fam? Your boy's back, and today we diving into the darkest, most uncomfortable, and straight up wildest family intervention in hip hop history. Kendrick's Meet the Grams.
You raised a horrible fucking person. The nerve of you, Dennis.
You raised a horrible. He didn't raise shit.
The nerve of you, Dennis.
Sandra, sit down. What I'm about to say is heavy. Now listen.
May 3rd, 2024, 11:30 p.m. The internet breaks. Drake just dropped Family Matters, the timeline's in shambles, and everybody think the beef is over. But Kendrick, he ain't just coming for Drake's head, he coming for the whole Graham family tree. This ain't just a diss track, this is a psychological intervention, a family therapy session, and a roast session all rolled into one. And tonight, we about to dissect 4 bars that go deeper than anything in rap history. If you ready for the most uncomfortable, most layered, most savage breakdown you ever heard, smash that like, hit subscribe, and let's get into it. Let's set the scene. Most diss tracks, they target the rapper. They go for the skills, the street cred, the image. But this one, nah, Kendrick went for the roots. He addresses Drake's parents, exposes generational patterns, and draws lines to criminal behavior. This is where art becomes uncomfortable truth. This is where the gloves come off and the mask drops. Let's get surgical. Segment 1, Psychopath Intuition. First bar, Psychopath Intuition, the man that liked to play victim.
Gambling addictions. Psychopath intuition, the man that liked to play victim.
On the surface, Kendrick calling Drake manipulative, but let's dig. Drake's whole career is built on narrative control. No friends in the industry, the 20v1 line from push-ups. Drake always sneak dissing, then claiming he's the victim when folks clap back. The irony? He the one starting the drama, then crying foul when it gets hot. But Kendrick ain't just calling him crazy, he's saying Drake got psychopath level cunning. This man knows how to play the game. He turns beefs into publicity, heartbreak into hits, and every L into a new narrative. Intuition means Drake knows exactly how to move, how to manipulate, how to play the victim for sympathy. And yo, let's not forget the Degrassi connection. Play victim is literal for Drake. He was an actor before he was a rapper. Where does Aubrey end and Drake begin? Is it emotional transparency or emotional manipulation? Kendrick saying, bruh, you've been acting your whole life. And then the gut punch. Identity's on the fence, don't know which family will love you. Kendrick diagnoses the why, but doesn't excuse it. He's saying, I see you, I know why you do what you do, but that don't make it right. But where does this behavior come from?
Victim, you raised a horrible fucking person. The nerve of you, Dennis.
You raised a horrible. He didn't raise shit.
The nerve of you, Dennis.
Let's talk about Dennis Graham. Segment 2, the nerve of you, Dennis. Who is Dennis Graham? The OG absentee father. Divorced when Drake was 5, jail stints, gambling issues. Man won $300,000 on a Raptors bet, and Drake out here with his own gambling problems. Like father, like son? Kendrick reads the bar. You raised a horrible fucking person. The nerve of you, Dennis. Double meaning. Raised as in parenting and bringing up for discussion. The nerve, the audacity of bad parenting and Dennis's own public bravado. Dennis out here doing interviews, playing up fatherhood after years of absence. This is generational trauma, fam. Dennis's behavior leads to Drake's behavior, which could lead to Drake's kids. The gambling, the performance of masculinity, the cycles that never get broken. Kendrick's not just roasting Drake, he's examining the soil the tree grew from. And that's what hits different. Most diss tracks stop at the artist. Kendrick goes genealogical. If you want to understand the tree, look at the soil. But if Dennis failed Drake, what about the person who stayed? Segment 3, Sandra, sit down.
Just sit down. What I'm about to say is heavy. Now listen.
You saying it's not got heavy yet?
No, wait, stop.
Your son's a sick man with sick thoughts. I think niggas like him should die.
Now we get to the most chilling moment. Kendrick reads, Sandra, sit down. What I'm about to say is heavy. Now listen. Your son's a sick man with sick thoughts. I think niggas like him should die. The tone shifts. Kendrick sounds like a therapist, a detective, a priest. Sit down. Heavy. Listen. Now peep the humble reference. Sandra, sit down. Be humble. He's humbling her parenthood by making a play of destroying her son's life. That's intervention language. This is the moment everybody remembers. Triple meaning of sick. 1. Mentally unwell from trauma, sympathetic reading. 2. Morally corrupt, predatory, condemnation. 3. Hip-hop slang, twisted genius, extreme. Can someone be both a victim of their upbringing and a victimizer of others? Kendrick says, I'm not letting trauma excuse your behavior. And then, should die. Is it a metaphor or a manifesto? Connect to the day the party died philosophy. Just walk that man down. That'll do everyone a solid. Hip-hop's history of killing rivals on the mic, but also literal removal of harmful people from power. Biblical language, dying for your sins. Street justice versus social.
All right, y'all, so what we finna do? Drake, we're tired. You're tired, okay. Have you seen what the fuck is going on out there? Yeah, and I'm sorry we gotta write everything for you, from albums to diss tracks. This whole beef shit came out of nowhere.
Literal removal of harmful people from power. Biblical language, dying for your sins. Street justice versus social justice. Why address Sandra specifically? Maternal protection versus maternal complicity. Are some mothers so blinded by love they enable monsters? The cultural weights of mother-son relationships in hip-hop is heavy. Kendrick ain't giving her a pass. He's asking her to see what her son became. And then Kendrick breaks the fourth wall. The bluntness is intentional. No wordplay, no metaphors. Sometimes evil shouldn't be prettied up. This foreshadows what's coming. Allegations too serious for artistic distance. And those allegations, they about to get specific. Segment 4, him and Weinstein. Kendrick reads, him and Weinstein should get fucked up in a cell for the rest of their
Your
life.
son's a sick man with sick thoughts. I think niggas like him should die. Him and Weinstein should get fucked up in a cell for the rest of their life. He hates Weinstein?
Okay, Drake.
I need a breather too.
Him and Weinstein should get fucked up in a cell for the rest of their life.
He said he should die. He said that with a hard D.
This nigga Kendrick, a psychopath, bro.
Because I don't think Kendrick likes Drake.
Oh, we not rapping no more. This is beyond a rap battle. We getting to that Chris Brown territory now.
Bro, you scaring me, bro.
Harvey Weinstein, 2020 conviction, 2022 LA conviction, decades of predatory behavior. May 1st, 2024, NY conviction overturned, 2 days before this track drops. Kendrick draws a direct line. Drake equals Weinstein level predator. Cell, triple entendre. 1, literal prison cell. 2, criminal cell or organization. OVO as predatory network. 3, cultural cell. Trapped system of enabling and silence. Fucked up in a cell equals legal punishment and peer punishment. Prison hierarchy. Rest they life. Plural they means Drake ain't alone in this. Rest equals remainder of life, but also rest as in sleep/peace. You'll never have either. Mental imprisonment as severe as physical. Karmic justice language. Kendrick positions himself as judge and jury. Lock up the real criminals, but this time the criminal is elite, not marginalized. The industry's complicity in protecting powerful predators. OVO as a cell of protection around Drake. Birds of a feather. 2 monsters sharing a cell. This isn't just about Drake anymore. It's about who the culture protects and why. Kendrick is calling for accountability at the highest levels. This is a call to action, not just a diss. Closing, the bigger picture. These 4 bars represent a shift in hip-hop discourse, from braggadocio to intervention, from competition to accountability, from art to activism. People recognize the gravity immediately. This wasn't clever wordplay, it was uncomfortable truth. The multiple layers give listeners something new on every listen. The stolen items, Ozempic, receipts, proved Kendrick had inside information. But the real question, what do we do when our heroes become villains? How does trauma propagate through generations? When does artistic competition become moral obligation? Can someone be both a product of their environment and responsible for their choices? Meet the Grams isn't just a diss track, it's a dissection of character, family, and power. These 4 bars, Psychopath, Dennis, Sandra, Weinstein, tell a complete story, from diagnosis to origin to judgment to sentence. Kendrick didn't just meet the Grams, he held up a mirror to all of us.
Y'all been writing for me my whole career. What's the issue now? At least do some research and stop paying people. So what the fuck am I paying you for? I've been paying all 50 out for like my whole career. I shouldn't even have to put my name on the paper. Drake, he's fucking us up right now, and you keep us a secret, so he's fucking you up. Hold up, this dropped again. That's it, we're doomed. I can't keep up. So what now? Y'all about to quit? Drake, this won't leave me alone. He keep dropping diss tracks.
Kendrick Lamar doesn't just release a diss track. He deploys a psychological weapon so precise, so calculated, that it breaks every rule of rap warfare. This isn't about rhyme schemes. This isn't about punchlines. This is about dismantling a human mind in real time, on the internet, for millions to witness. Most rappers aim for the ego. Kendrick, he aims for the psyche. And these 4 bars represent some of the most sophisticated psychological warfare ever committed to recording. Forget everything you know about diss tracks. We're not analyzing rap, we're analyzing weaponized psychology. And by the end of this, you'll understand why Drake couldn't respond. Why he couldn't. Because Kendrick didn't just attack him, he performed a public dissection of his entire psychological architecture. Let's break down the genius. 4 bars, 4 surgical strikes, each one targeting a different layer of Drake's identity, his defense mechanisms, his very sense of self. This is Meet the Grams. This is psychological warfare as art form. Segment 1, Psychopath Intuition, Destroying the Mask. The setup, naming the game. Bar 1, Psychopath Intuition, the man that liked to play victim. First, understand what Kendrick just did. He didn't call Drake a psychopath. That would be simple, dismissible. He called out his intuition, the method, the strategy. This is genius because it's undefendable. Think about it. If Kendrick just says you're a psychopath, Drake responds with, I'm not crazy, look at my success, look at my empire. Easy. But psychopath intuition? That's different. That's saying, I see your system. I understand your patterns. I know how you operate. The psychological trap. This creates what psychologists call a double bind. If Drake denies playing victim, he has to explain away years of songs and statements. No friends in the industry, 20v1, all those moments suddenly look calculated. But if he admits to being strategic about victimhood, he confirms Kendrick's point. He is manipulating public perception. The brilliance. Kendrick forces Drake to either own his manipulation or deny his entire emotional brand. There's no third option. That's not a diss, that's a psychological corner. But here's where it gets diabolical. By saying intuition, Kendrick implies Drake doesn't even know he's doing it. It's unconscious, automatic, which means Drake can't simply choose to stop. This is who he is. The manipulation isn't a choice, it's his operating system. The Degrassi devastation. Now layer this, the man that liked to play victim. Play, as in act, as in perform. Kendrick just weaponized Drake's entire origin story against him. Drake's Degrassi past is something he's worked years to distance himself from. The actor turned rapper narrative, the authenticity questions, and with one word, play, Kendrick collapses the wall between Aubrey Graham the actor and Drake the rapper. The psychological damage. Every time Drake now expresses any emotion, pain, anger, sadness, there's a voice in his head asking, am I performing right now? Is this real or am I playing a role? Kendrick just made Drake doubt his own authenticity. That's weaponized psychology, the clinical diagnosis. But the word psychopath isn't random. Kendrick is leveraging public understanding of clinical psychology. Psychopaths are known for lack of empathy, manipulation, superficial charm, pathological lying, and, critically, victim playing when caught. By framing it as intuition, Kendrick suggests this isn't learned behavior, it's hardwired. You can't rehab intuition. You can't apologize away your fundamental programming. Drake isn't just a bad person in Kendrick's framework. He's psychologically incapable of being different. And here's the warfare genius. Kendrick never says if this is nature or nurture. He just plants the diagnosis and moves on. Which leads us to bar 2, where he provides the origin story of the psychopath. Because every villain has one. Segment 2. The nerve of you, Dennis. Attacking the foundation. The tactical shift. Bar 2. You raised a horrible fucking person. The nerve of you, Dennis. Tactical brilliance, and starts talking about him to his father. This is Psychological Warfare 101. Remove the target's agency. Drake isn't even important enough to address directly anymore. He's a case study being discussed in the third person. The humiliation. Imagine millions of people listening to someone explain to your father what a failure you are, not even giving you the respect of addressing you. That's not a diss, that's erasure. The blame architecture. But the genius is in the structure of the accusation. Kendrick creates a blame architecture that's impossible to escape. Watch this. If Drake defends his father, he admits his upbringing influenced him, confirming he's a product of dysfunction. If he doesn't defend Dennis, he admits his father failed him, confirming he's damaged. If he says he overcame his upbringing, then he can't blame his behavior on trauma. He's just choosing to be terrible. 3 options. All of them confirm Kendrick's thesis. That's not rap. That's rhetoric. That's philosophy. That's Sun Tzu level strategic thinking. The generational curse. Now the deepest cut. Kendrick doesn't just blame Dennis for Drake. He implies a cycle. You raised a horrible person suggests Dennis was raised poorly too. Which Kendrick claims, the cycle continues. The psychological impact. Drake can't see himself as a self-made man anymore. He's a link in a chain of dysfunction. Not an individual, a pattern. His entire identity is someone who rose above his circumstances, shattered. He didn't rise above anything. He became the pattern. And here's the warfare genius. By addressing Dennis publicly about his gambling problems, his absence, his failures, Kendrick humiliates the father to womb the son. Because we never fully escape wanting our parents' approval. Drake is 37 years old, and Kendrick just turned them back into a child whose father is being scolded by a stranger. The indefensible position. The brilliance of, the nerve of you, Dennis, is that it's 2 accusations at once. The nerve to raise someone so poorly, and the nerve to then show up in public playing proud father. Dennis can't defend himself without either admitting he was absent or admitting his son is terrible despite his presence. Either way, the Graham family foundation cracks. But Kendrick isn't done with the family. If Dennis is the absent father who failed Drake, then Sandra is the present mother who, what? Enabled him? Protected him? Loved him too much to see what he became? That's where bar 3 gets dark. Segment 3. Sandra, sit down. The intervention as attack. The tone weapon. Bar 3. Sandra, sit down. What I'm about to say is heavy. Now listen. Your son's a sick man with sick thoughts. I think niggas like him should die. The psychological warfare starts before the accusation even drops. Sandra, sit down. Kendrick adopts the voice of an interventionist, a therapist, a priest delivering last rites. This is tone control as psychological dominance. By speaking to Sandra like she's in his office, like she's his patient or his parishioner, Kendrick positions himself as the authority and her as the helpless participant. She has no choice but to listen. The power dynamic is established in 4 words. What I'm about to say is heavy. Now listen. This is a double psychological strike. First, the warning creates anticipation. Your body tenses, your mind races. What could be so heavy? Second, now listen is a command. Kendrick isn't asking for Sandra's attention, he's taking it. This is dominance disguised as consideration. The sick trap. Now the word sick. This might be the most sophisticated psychological weapon in the entire track. Because sick does 3 things simultaneously, and all 3 are attacks. Sick meaning 1, mentally ill. This creates sympathy. Sandra can think, my poor baby is sick, he needs help, he's not responsible. But that's the trap, because the next meaning destroys that sympathy. Sick meaning 2, morally depraved, predatory, evil. Now, sick isn't about mental health, it's about character. And you can't therapy your way out of moral sickness. This is who Drake is, not what happened to him. Sick meaning 3. Hip-hop slang for extreme, twisted genius. The culture's own language turns against Drake. Even the word that might compliment him becomes an indictment. The warfare genius. Drake can't dispute being sick without addressing which meaning he's rejecting. Is he claiming he's mentally healthy? Then he's morally sick. Is he claiming moral righteousness? Then he's mentally unwell. Is he claiming he's not extreme? Then he's irrelevant. Every defense confirms something Kendrick accused him of. The death sentence. I think niggas like him should die. This isn't hyperbole. This is Kendrick removing Drake from the category of worthy opponent and placing him in the category of existential threat to the culture. This is the psychological equivalent of excommunication. In hip-hop, even your enemies are part of the community. Rivals, yes. Competitors, absolutely. But still part of the culture. Kendrick just ejected Drake entirely. He's not saying you're a bad rapper or you're not as good as me. He's saying you should not exist. Did Kendrick go too far? Or is this exactly what Drake needed to hear? Smash that like, hit subscribe, and remember, hip-hop ain't just entertainment. Sometimes it's therapy. Sometimes it's truth. And sometimes, like with Meet the Grams, it's both. Stay locked in, and I'll see you in the next one where we break down even more layers you probably missed. Peace.